That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
I better not, I better sit down. I promised the ladies I would wear a Metro Market shirt to a board meeting.
That's awesome.
I said it's Seneca County support.
That's
15
excellent.
years.
Very cool.
Those two crack me up.
Your video this week is hilarious as usual.
Yes, they are beyond funny.
I only stay in their house.
Amen.
Okay, so all right. Maybe we avoid the landscaping of the work session. If we help.
Yeah, all kinds of bathrooms charged.
Work session is on. We're all set?
Yep.
All right. Human resource assessment, tell us about it.
Yes, we talked numerous times at our strategic planning meeting. It's kind of been an offset discussion. None of our committees have actually taken it on. I think we did have a meeting with some of the departments that currently have HR representation. I didn't do it.
Speed me up.
Your time's up next.
6 seconds.
So Lori Hall had been coming to our meetings, and she had asked if we would be interested. She would offer to do a human resource assessment to kind of get us maybe more in track of what we really need in HR, that they would be willing to go to like each department, try to figure out, okay, how do you process new employees? How do you process, just different things. And because we've talked about before, is it time that we move to an HR department instead of a contract service that we have, or so?
Well, we've looked at using our contract services to maybe come in 2 or 3 days a week to take care of the human resource function, right?
Yeah.
We've looked at other counties over the last 3 years to see what size of counties had a full-time human resource and how they did it in other counties similar to us.
Yeah.
It looked like, the generally accepted business practice was to have a central human resource to which people could call and ask questions and, a full resource of services. So, what does this study conclude anything, or does?
It just basically shows our strengths and our weaknesses for the human resources. I think I sent you the statement of work. They're gonna assess, hiring processes, recruitment, training skills, reference checking, job descriptions, review the handbook, policies, personnel files, just different aspects of the.
So does each? I think I know the answer to this, but like if somebody wants to apply for a job with one of the municipal or one of the county police courts, do they do their own background check? Do they do their own due diligence? And if somebody applies with the clerk or somebody applies with the sheriff's, it's all done separately by them.
Yes, and I don't know how they do theirs.
Well, procedurally, we don't know if they do it the same.
Right.
Okay. Now, if there's a county job out there that needs to be posted, how does that work?
Unless it's our departments, we usually don't know about it.
Okay. So it's not posted countywide.
Nope. Sometimes we'll get notice to say, hey, you want to put this on your website for us or something like that, but.
I see them in the classified ads in the paper. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Oh, look.
We're hiring.
The courts are hiring, that's cool.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, not that that's all bad, but it's, yeah, we don't.
Very decentralized.
Yeah.
So, we've talked about moving towards a centralized human resource function that wasn't necessarily in the purview of one elected official. I don't know, where do you guys want to take it from here?
I know I need to read through that assessment. Sure. You said you sent it to us?
Yep.
Okay, so I need to look through that and see, but I think that's a good starting point because we may not know what we need if we don't know how it's been being done. Maybe there's one or two that, they do this part really well and maybe we can merge things and they would, if nothing else, if nothing else at the end of the day, if each department learns something, a way to do it more efficiently, more effectively, from another, we've improved up the process for somebody. But if a centralized effort is the goal, we need to look really closely at that and then have some discussions with those folks on that.
Well, I know this never works out in government. but-
I know.
But we have had discussions with all the departments, and each of them, a sheriff, clerk, judges, have a person on staff who spends a certain percentage of their time doing the human resource functions for that group. You know, if we could relieve them of doing that, in theory, we could save enough time to actually have a human resource person. Now, will that work out? Probably not.
Yeah.
But in theory, that's the idea.
And I know the laws of, HR are always evolving, right? There's always something new coming down the pike, whether it's on wages or it's on hours or calculations of benefits or it's.
Family leave.
Yeah, everything. There's always stuff, so, eventually being to that point to know that, the compliance issues are just a little easier set. I mean, I think those are things that any of them doing it for a while are gonna know that those changes have impacted the way they've had to do things, as well as made it more challenging, or they've had to tap into, which is great. CCAO has that resource to give us some guidelines, but we have Plums and Nelson have helped us a lot, right? With issues too, so.
Well, it'd be nice if Nelson Clements could come up with a suggested solution, or, how they feel the best practice would be. But yeah, you're right, we all need to review this and tell, did you email it this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep, I just figured
I
we
thought
had
I
work
read through
session,
it,
so
yeah.
at least we touch base on it and
Yeah.
get you guys thinking about it.
Where would you if we had a central HR, where would you visualize it be?
I don't know, I
Right
mean,
now, our auditor's doing the most centralized.
the most centralized because of handling the
Benefits.
payroll and benefit factor that they do. A couple one county that did have it, it was, I assumed under the commissioners, but I don't know that for sure, that's Sandusky.
Sandusky County.
Yeah.
Sandusky County's human resource person is housed with the commissioner.
This house with the commissioners, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking because then it's a line item on us funding it versus us having to, otherwise we've got to direct that funding to another department. And then they can work closely with whatever part, the auditor's always gonna have a role in this because of a new hire, they're always processing stuff.
Sure.
But. the
And with
things
this
beforehand-
assessment, they may come in and do an assessment and say, no, your individual people are doing a wonderful job, and so.
Yeah.
And this just gives like a third-party
Yeah.
assessment, but
The one thing I'm certain we're not doing a good job at is training.
Training.
We're not utilizing our resources from Corsa
Yep.
Yeah, there's some,
to do the training, and so.
Okay, so the next step with her, the next step with them is,
you just read it, let me know if this is something you want to move forward. She did
Oh,
send
okay.
me a contract, so consulting agreement, she called it.
she
so.
put a cost to it?
Not to exceed 5,000, I think.
All right, you guys look at it. I mean, I'm on board that we ought to go further and have her do her assessment. And make a decision, or at least use that as part of the decision-making process.
yeah. I agree.
All right. Commissioner's Journal.
Yes, with the law librarian turning in her resignation, it had reminded us that her and the library had taken journals 1, 2, and 3 that they were going to have put up on the state's website. They were going to do some scanning for us. So knowing Jenny was going to be leaving, I just wanted to make sure where our journals were at. So she did say that she brought journal 3 back and that the library would come get it when they need it. But the good news is they do have journals 1 and 2 started, and it's on their website. So I thought that was pretty cool that, journals 1 and 2 are just about done and they are on the website. So they're working on the, this is techie language, the meta tags or something. That way they're actually going to be searchable, because it's such a pretty cursive writing, it's not searchable. So
You'd be able to search it by word or
Yep.
Yeah.
okay, by
Can't read it.
phrase or something like that?
Yep, they'll be able to. I mean, it's so pretty I can't read it.
Yeah, it takes a little,
Yeah.
used to the
So we were pretty excited. I didn't know they were up yet, so Jenny said, oh yeah,
So ohiomemory.org, or is there a search, if people want to search for it?
Perfect. How many did we decide that they were going to actually scan and put in there?
I think you
Three.
put Seneca County.
they're just doing 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's
That's good
through the
stuff.
library, right?
Yes.
That's good stuff.
So I thought that was something positive, and
Okay, sure is.
slowly we're scanning
So-
too.
We have had to try to research stuff in the past and haven't had a whole lot of luck.
Oh yeah,
sometimes.
some of these are really difficult too,
Yeah.
and you know they're doing this at their own cost just because it's historical. It's the very first or second, third journal of Seneca County.
And they were able to do it without destroying them, right? I mean,
Correct. They didn't have to take them apart. They
Because they got
have
the right,
equipment to do that.
right, I think they're doing that with volunteers too, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Perfect.
good news, good news, good news.
Yeah. So I just thought we'd bring that up in work session, and
Okay,
we'll put a link on our website or something, so
Great.
people want to
Oh,
look
that's a
at
good
it
idea.
on our website.
Well, I know the meeting's gonna be long today, so we've gotta get one of these agenda items off. The landscaping situation, did we decide that we are going to sod? Was that our final decision?
Yeah, and you guys discussed it when I wasn't here. I thought
Okay.
it was to move forward with sod,
With the
$25,000 from the judges, which they've sent us.
Yeah.
Yeah, with their
Right. And
commitment
they've
to
already
that funding.
given.
we-
The money's here, yeah.
Yeah, the money's already been
Okay.
given. John was getting, and I think got the final quotes last week, because first time we did it, we didn't get the sprinkler system, irrigation system, and I
Yeah.
think you guys wanted that, so that quote didn't come with it. So John I haven't got him yet, but he said he got them last week, the final quotes, because we'd only had one quote, so we needed
Okay, well,
more, so
there's been a request that the contractor and the two at least two of the judges, and John and whoever else get together. I don't know if you wanna call a meeting, Shane, or if we need to have a special session to do it, or.
I think you guys gave direction, 3 weeks ago. John just needs to do it, right? I mean, that's where we're at.
Okay.
we just needed to make sure we had the right amount of funding,
Okay,
and I think it's gonna come in a little lower than what we thought.
If the judges wanna help fund it, then, I'm not gonna resist that. So I think it's just an exexecution issue at this point.
okay, is there another, for some reason I want to have some discussion. Is there another meeting scheduled for landscaping committee?
There's not.
Okay.
I mean, everything's just kind of been waiting on the sod to get put down, or the side decision to be made, and that's been.
And I'm assuming on those quotes that I shouldn't assume, but that they would have a rough time frame that the quote's good for so long, and implementation, or is it gonna be a matter, we accept the quote, then they're gonna put us on their schedule, I suppose, I don't know,
Yeah.
to
I'd
know
have to
the
ask John
when.
that.
And I'm assuming this is, again, I shouldn't assume anything, it's not gonna take weeks, it's going to be a couple
And
of days, I don't know how much of if that quote includes the prep
I haven't seen it yet.
for that, because
And I
that was a
don't think-
discussion, there's some of that fill in there's got some pretty big rocks.
And I think John had mentioned yesterday that he did not include the annex in that quote, and I thought you had requested that.
We had,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
maybe there is some just unanswered questions that John.
Okay, if you,
just needs
Shane, if you
some-
would follow up with John and maybe
Yeah.
one of the
For
judges,
sure.
whoever you decide,
Yeah.
see if there is a meeting necessary.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, because I know they're antsy about it.
Yeah.
Uh,
As am I.
All right, so we
We
can
could
get
have planted
that.
grass and been done with it. We spent more time talking.
Okay, so we got that off the agenda for today. Anything else for work session here?
I can cover a couple things that are just kind of general, if you don't mind.
Sure.
For in my pile of stuff here, fair, just FYI, it's soon. And we participate with, regional planning coordinates everything for with the Township Association and the county, if we want to put some things in there. Last couple of years, we did Justice Center stuff in there. I presume we have a panel section if we want to put something on it. I don't know what we want to put on it, but we should think about that. The fair is the 23rd to the 29th. And more importantly, for those of you who want to make your entries, that's now. July 9th through the 14th the office is open out there for anybody wanting to make entries. So, for the open class portion of this.
Are
And
they baking a cake or something?
yeah, you could enter the bake-off, and then it could be auctioned off for the benefit of the department, or you're, sorry, unfortunately, I don't think you're eligible for the pig scramble. It's for the kids.
It's an age thing or what?
It's an age thing, sorry, I'm not eligible either, neither, Nikki's not even eligible, so. Dang, so, but things like that, there's just people.
I could go a lot of directions, and we're not gonna go to any of them.
We won't go there at all. And then just another, feel-good thing, a few weeks ago in the paper, our very own Director of the Board of Elections, Jim Ehrman, was
Yeah.
recognized as the 2017 Republican Ohio Elections Official of the Year.
Yeah.
So, I didn't know if everybody saw that or not, but it was a nice article.
Yeah, it
that
was nice.
in on a Saturday, so wanted to mention that. Let me keep going, I got final stuff here.
You're on a roll. You're
I'm on a roll.
You got the stage.
It's up early, yeah, okay. The position that has been posted with Ohio State University Extension for the ag agent and
Yes.
direct marketing person. Bad news is, first round, it did not yield a candidate that would accept the position. So a couple of them got other positions by the time it got so far. One offered to, I don't know what happened, but did not take the position. So, as of yesterday, it's reposted. The university system now is a 2-week posting, and that's something they've done throughout the, I don't know if it's just Extension or university-wide. But it is reposted now. I sent it to you just before walking in here.
Okay.
If we can put it on ours, the link. It's jobs@osu.com or something, and anyway, there's a job number.
Just give it to HR.
But July 22nd is the new deadline. Yeah, give it to you. And that it, like I said, they posted it July 22nd, it's the deadline, so that's only 2 weeks away. I don't know what else I was gonna say, but that's,
We can send it to CCAO as well.
yeah, we could do that as well. So we wanna get, it's gonna be in the paper locally, but I'm assuming closer to the weekend.
What else you got in your file?
Kate Niedermeyer is going to be here for the meeting with DJFS tomorrow, and said she's glad to meet with any of us. She had called me, left me a message.
This is
After that,
10 o'clock meeting tomorrow.
the 10 o'clock meeting tomorrow.
The 5 was canceled, or the 5:30?
Yeah, 5:30 was
Yeah.
canceled, yeah.
And
There's
so
only
she
one.
said if anybody's wanted to meet with her afterwards, so I'm just letting you two know that. And my last thing, Oriana House had invited us to something. I can't go. I don't know, did we all get this?
What's the date?
It's July 20th? Okay. I didn't know if I was a representative or if it was all of us.
Yeah, I think I heard.
Yeah, okay, because I know I've got a conflict that day, I've got CCO board meeting. Okay. I kept
You
forgetting to ask.
I have.
You're gone?
You have it down to go?
Okay, good, all right, good.
That's it, done, that's all I got.
Okay, well, I might as well, in work session, talk about this. Jimmy, this is something that we got from a group called Family Readiness Group. And there are 75 National Guardsmen assigned to the Tiffin Armory. Families Ready Group provides meals before and after training sessions. We can't donate anything as far as the county goes, but we can advise the public. They do a summer picnic for the Guardsmen and their families. They do Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners for the Guardsmen and their families. And they rely on donations for food, drinks, Christmas gifts for the kids, and all that kind of thing. So, Family Readiness Group member and veterans all volunteer their time, and they're looking for donations. So anyone who has an affinity for the military and or the National Guard might want to consider contacting Family Readiness Group, and they can contact them by writing the care of the National Guard Armory, 600 River Road, Tiffin, Ohio, 44883. Any other topics?
Our board session next week is our off-site meeting.
Really?
It's our evening off-site meeting.
And where are we?
We are going to Fostoria,
Okay.
I don't know.
7 o'clock. And we do have a representative from the Ohio Port Council that would like to have a few minutes to do a little presentation over there.
Must be the theme today. We could ask him why we're not eligible for the scramble.
Yeah. So that evening time worked for them?
7, yes.
Good.
This is the 17th.
17.
At what time? 7 p.m.
7.
7 p.m.
No, we're at the city building?
Yes, in
Municipal building?
Judge's Chambers.
Okay.
We were there once already.
Not
A while ago.
Yeah.
I have it.
Yeah, no, I-
That was a while ago.
17th, is that what you said?
Yes.
17th. I appreciate the fact that it's on the west side of the county.
Jimmy, you'll get overtime for that.
Yeah, I'll be there anyway. Their council meeting's right before it,
Yep.
and I always go to their council meetings. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, come early if you want to hang out at the council meeting too.
What time's your council meeting?
6
start?
o'clock. 5:45. They do a.
We could take some notes
Finance
for our
committee.
thoughts.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do finance committee at 5:45 and the regular meeting's at 6. So, and I actually knew about this because they mentioned it at their last meeting.
Good, good.
Okay, take a 5-minute break, guys.
Yeah.